Over the past few weeks, the gaming industry is all shook up with a plethora of new announcements, both by Microsoft and Sony. The console industry is moving to a big upgrade, with the upcoming PlayStation 5 by Sony and Xbox Series X and X by Microsoft. But what Microsoft has in store is a part of a much larger plan, which targets acquiring every gamer on the planet to use their service, no matter what platform they play on. A big part of my analysis of this plan is due to the four major announcements by Microsoft: the Xbox Game Pass service, which includes EA Play, the $300 Xbox Series S with Game Pass payment plan, the xCloud service launch and bundle with Game Pass, and the acquisition of Bethesda Game Studios, which even developed some of the exclusive games for the PlayStation console. In this episode, let us go in detail about each of these steps taken by Microsoft and what does it all mean in the grand scheme of things. First, let us understand the concept of Game Pass. I have been using this service for the past 9 months now, and this seriously seems to be the best strategy that I have seen applied in the gaming industry yet. This is a subscription based service where for $15 a month or Rs 600 in India, you get access to all of the games from Microsoft Game Studios, with launch titles available to install and play at launch itself. This allows me to play amazing games, the likes of which being the Forza Horizon 4, Gears of War, Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, Minecraft, the Halo series, and a lot more. All at a cost that is much bearable than the full-on one-time cost of these games that are upwards of Rs 4,000 each. A few weeks back, Microsoft announced that it is partnering with EA Play to bring all the titles under it to be available to the Game Pass users at no additional cost. This means after its launch in November this year, I would be able to play games like FIFA 20, Titanfall 2, Need for Speed Heat, Battlefield, and a lot more. This has just sweetened the deal further for me, making Game Pass the ultimate choice of gaming subscription services for me. Also, Microsoft just announced the pricing of its new budget console, the Xbox Series S, which is $299. But that is not the bright spot. The limelight goes to the Xbox Game Pass bundle that they released, with which they are providing the Xbox Series S, Game Pass subscription, as well as EA Access, all for $25 a month for 2 years. In the perspective of the United States market, which values gaming a lot more than the Indian subcontinent, we can see how the entire $25 as monthly pocket money for the kid could give a return in the form of an entertainment investment for the same, and the kid won't even have to bug their parents to buy each game, which generally costs upwards of $40 to $50 each. Moving on, with the launch of Microsoft xCloud service, they have announced their foray into the game streaming industry, colliding head to head with Google Stadia and Nvidia GeForce Now. But with the bundling of Xbox Game Pass into the xCloud service, what they have made is that they have made available the AAA title for the gamers to stream and play onto any of their devices, be it their Android phone or their underpowered laptop, all at the same cost of their Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, their $15 tier. So those who do not have a gaming grade PC or an Xbox could still play any of the Microsoft games on the platform of their choice. And coming to the final announcement now. Microsoft recently acquired the parent company of one of the biggest game studios in the industry, Bethesda, ZeniMax Studio, for 7.5 billion US dollars. The immediate and inevitable reaction from consumers focused naturally on the competition and whether future Bethesda titles will become Xbox exclusive. It is a sensible concern. Why, after all, would any company in an industry as cutthroat at gaming purchase a major entertainment brand, if not to deprive its primary rival the ability to distribute coveted intellectual property on competing hardware? But that is a question for the old Microsoft, the one that tried competing with Sony in an exclusivity game that ultimately kept it perpetually lagging behind throughout the Xbox One generation. Although it is a common refrain to assert that Microsoft lacks console exclusive, the company now has quite an impressive first party suite. It owns Minecraft, the best selling game of all time, which is available on pretty much every conceivable platform. It owns the right to series like Halo, Gears of War, and Forza. Since 2018, it has also gone into a buying spree, picking up the RPG maker Obsidian, Double Fine, and the British studio Ninja Theory. Now, with Bethesda, Microsoft also owns the makers of Doom and Wolfenstein, Dishonored, and Deathloop, a time PS5 exclusive coincidentally, and Fallout and the Elder Scrolls. Microsoft may not necessarily care about exclusivity anymore, but it still needs studios. First party developers are the lifeblood of game publishers because they allow them to control the cadence of major releases and better manage budgets and cross franchise resources like game engine and creative talent. Most important to Microsoft right now, however, is having the final say on distribution. By owning a studio, Microsoft gets to decide where and for how much the game is sold, including giving it away for free as a part of subscription service. Keeping the next Fallout or Elder Scroll game off the PS5 is not a savvy business move, but making sure those games are on Game Pass is. Microsoft has shown it does not necessarily care where you play the game for the most part. rather ensuring that a major new release is available for free on Game Pass the day it comes out with no extra cost to Microsoft for having to secure a pricey revenue sharing deal or pony up for limited time access is the goal. This is, in fact, Microsoft's core strategy for the future of Xbox. Look at the release of Obsidian The Outer Worlds as an example. The game came out on Xbox One, PS4 and PC and is available for free on Windows and Xbox if you are a Game Pass subscriber. Everyone wins in that scenario, and it is one Microsoft likely wants to repeat. Microsoft says it has 15 million Game Pass subscribers at an average of $10 per user, accounting for some 5 and $1 limited time sign up, and subscribers of the $15 premium ultimate subscription. That is more than 1 billion in annual subscription revenue. Add to that any revenue Microsoft plans to make of third-party games on Xbox console and through the Microsoft Store on PC, any console revenue it might earn from the Series X or S sales, and full game sales and microtransaction for its third-party titles, and you have got a healthy Xbox business. But far and away, the most important part of that equation, the part that can continue to grow enormously, is Game Pass. Microsoft could double its Game Pass revenue with 30 million subscribers. At 50 million, Game Pass is generating an estimated $6 billion a year, more than 3 times what Fortnite made last year, and close to the entire annual revenue of Activision Blizzard, the most valuable third-party game publisher in the industry. The Xbox business could pull in only a fraction of Sony's PlayStation 5 hardware sales and still be generating mind-blowing amount of cash purely of subscription revenue. That is not to say Microsoft does not care how many Xbox units it sells or whether its first-party games make back their budget. It is very likely Microsoft is approaching this uncertain next-gen future with contingencies in place, like using its vast pool of resources, considering the company has a market cap of $1.5 trillion to keep Game Pass afloat until it starts making healthy profit, while taking every measure to ensure it sells as many units of hardware and Halo it can. That is why there is a cheaper Xbox Series X after all. The more Xbox devices in living room, the more potential Game Pass subscribers Microsoft can sign up. It may be no coincidence that this news was announced on the eve of the next-gen Xbox pre-orders going live. A huge acquisition deal is an encouraging sign for the company's commitment to Xbox and Game Pass, and that may well translate into more hardware pre-orders if it all goes according to Microsoft plans. Consumers will not be talking so much about which company has the better exclusive lineup or which brand won the next generation race. Instead, chances are you may own both consoles and maybe even a PC. Microsoft may not really care, so long as you keep giving it $10 a month for Game Pass. And with that, Microsoft would have successfully taken place in all your devices you game on. And that is how you win over the gaming industry. That is it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. For more of such in-depth analysis of different industries and more, please do not forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Goodbye.